Account, so we good. What's up, YouTube? How's everyone doing? I don't know when I'm gonna drop this, but yeah, how's everyone doing? This is your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy Try with me,
What up?
and this is gonna be a new segment I'm doing called Inside the Zine, where I want to look at like random Source, Jet, Vibe magazines, and whatnot, where they're rate the albums and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Their view on an album that one might consider classic today, radio rated back in the day and shit like that. Like mostly it's gonna be mostly for Source magazines since it's like primarily hip hop, but there will be once in a while where we'll go to Jet or Vibe. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get like some rap pages and shit like that, you know what I'm saying? So
Right.
since this is the first episode, we're gonna do like two of these and shit like that.
True.
And the first one is the Mike Tyson
Yes.
issue
I remember
from
that.
September of 1995. This is a very good issue. This is when he got out of prison and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Because the tours they do like I think around the mid '90s they had like an exclusive sports issue
Right.
and stuff like that too. I think this was like one of the first time an athlete was actually on a source cover.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the other one I want to talk about this is actually the first source issue.
Mm-hmm.
The Rakim
Rakim.
issue. Cannabis actually interviewed Rakim in this
Oh
issue,
wow.
right? Yeah,
I didn't never got that one.
yeah. Man. I was like, this is the first one. I was like, I gotta get this one.
Yeah.
Got to. 'Cause I never seen Rakim on a source issue.
Right.
But yeah, let's talk about where motherfuckers rated albums back in the day and shit.
Yeah.
Like I've always wanted to like to really do this for some reason. This is when the first Source Awards
Mm-hmm.
came out. They had local listings.
Right.
That's crazy how there's an area between August 11th and September 17th. How each city will get it. That's crazy as hell, man.
Yeah.
That's wild. Mm. We got the whole 8 Ball and MJG on top of the world
Mm-hmm.
promo.
Yes.
Classic album.
Mm-hmm.
So when Skechers was first coming out, down, I feel old.
Sketches.
All right. Let's see. Almost here. Almost here. Almost here. Where's it at? Oh, Nas. Speaking of Nas, he
Mm-hmm.
got the virtual. He got the hip hop quotable for the verbal intercourse song and shit
Wow.
like that.
Classic.
Yeah,
Great. That might be what.
classic.
That might be the best guest spot on any album. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't get mad about that. Really can't get mad about
Yeah.
that. Jesus Christ, what the fuck are the ratings at? Look, yeah, I miss when magazines actually used to. Oh wow, only built for Cuban Links cover.
Mm.
Promo and
Nice.
shit.
Yes.
I miss when magazines used to make a big deal about albums and
Right.
shit.
Right.
Oh wow, they have a dope issue called Coogee Rap talking about his comeback.
Yeah.
How
That
he
just
thought.
that's the issue where they talked about when he had brain surgery.
Oh word,
Yeah, he had brain surgery
I
because
never knew he had brain
he
surgery.
he said he kept getting like bad head. I don't know if he still have it. He kept getting bad headaches.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
wow, I never knew he had brain surgery. That's crazy.
Yep. Crazy.
Damn, they put the ratings all the way in the back for this one. Shit.
Yeah.
Okay, found it. All right,
Right.
all right. Let's see what we got here. See what we the hell. Okay, this is a. So that's one thing I hate about magazines. Like they put all the fucking advertisement in between what we actually looking for and shit.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck about all these models and shit.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's more. Okay, there it is. All right. So Hopefully this motherfucker didn't really rip out shit. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, so let's just start this shit off, right?
Mm.
So the first album we have here, they had a Raekwon's only built for my Cuban links for 4.5 mics.
They got it wrong.
Got it wrong.
Got it wrong.
Already they got it wrong and shit.
Yes.
Like, wow. I guess this is a 5 mic album, hip hop
Yeah.
classic.
What was their reason for not for only giving it 4 mics? What was the one thing that they didn't give a 5 mic rating to?
Well, this motherfucker kind of ripped off some of the issue on why you gotta give it 4.5 mics and shit like that. So it's just
Mm.
like, god damn, thank you for that. But I mean, the reviews was good. They
Mm-hmm.
actually talked about Spot Rushers, the song,
Right.
which
Yeah.
very underrated track in my opinion. I don't
Underrated
hear
track. Yeah.
nobody mention Spot Rushers to this day.
There's a couple of them that's underrated on that album to me.
Oh yeah,
Spot Rushers, Knuckleheads, Knowledge God.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's just gonna have Spectrum Internet from this point. Yeah, man. It's Incarcerated Scarfaces, which again, that track I like that track. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie, but
Mm-hmm.
people always say, "Oh, that was the definitive track." I mean, I love it, but
Right.
there's other tracks like Wisdom Body,
Yes.
Wu Gambinos,
Mm-hmm.
and shit like Heaven and Hell, and shit
Crazy.
like that. I felt like that displayed storytelling at its premise and stuff like that.
Right.
Damn, what is my favorite track off the album, man? Shit. I think at one point I even said North Star was even one of my favorite tracks because
Mm-hmm.
it was just how the way they ended it, the album, like the finale of a gangster movie or some shit like that.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely fuck with this. This is a 5 mics, man.
Yes. Definitely. I don't know how who was rating the album, but they got it wrong with that. That's like one of the best
Yeah,
mafioso rap albums ever. You know,
it's probably the
to
best.
me, yeah, definitely to me like the best Wu solo album. I love
Right.
Liquid Swords and Iron Man, but I think Cuban Link is just that's just it for me. You know.
Yeah, I definitely see your point on that. Um, they had Ray Lugs, but they ripped off some of his reviews. So I'm not going to talk about that album and stuff like that. They had Guru's Jasmine has 3.5 mics.
Mm. I don't know if I heard Jasmine Taz too. I might have
I've
did
heard
had heard it like a long time ago.
I've heard Jasmine has 2, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna lie,
Mm.
I love Guru, but that's at least a 4 mic album. Jasmine has
Right.
2,
Right.
and this is what I've said about Guru's the Jasmine Taz series. The first one is the only one in the series where I can put next to the Gangstar classics like
Mm.
Daily Operation, Step in the
Right.
Arena, Hard to Earn, and so on, because it had that jazzy feel, like the live instrumentation, him collaborating with the jazz artist that sampled from like
Right.
now. I think he was the first rapper to really do that, finesse that right, in my opinion, because
Mm-hmm.
there been motherfuckers like when the Fat Boys they did that fucking the twist with who did the twist? Tubby Checker.
Right.
They redid the twist and stuff like that. I think for the Disorderlies movie or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
A movie we definitely have to talk about one
Mm-hmm.
motherfucking day. That's all I gotta
I
say. I
can't
don't
even
know
find it
when.
on. I can't find it on streaming
Yeah,
either.
when I find it,
Yeah.
because I used to be on YouTube a while back, but
Mm-hmm.
they took it off YouTube and shit like that too. But
Crazy.
because I feel like every Jasmine Taz after Jasmine Taz one definitely
Yeah.
missed the mark with the jazziness, and Jasmine Taz two, just because it's good and I like it. Next to the first one, it's not a classic.
Right.
Like, yeah, you have songs like "Watch What You Say," with what's her name, Shaka Khan, which is
Mm-hmm.
probably my favorite track off the album.
Right.
Yeah, songs like "The Traveler," but the issue with that album is that it veered too much in the R&B than the jazz.
Right.
And that's what always been my issue with every jazz and jazz after the first one. But
Mm-hmm.
the second and third one I can tolerate.
Right.
Yeah, so that one that's a 4 mic album when it comes to Jasmine Taz 2. Now this is
I
when
gotta
they
hear.
really missed the mark.
Uh-huh.
Bone Thugs, E99 Eternal, 3.5 mics.
Wow. What?
And I,
How?
of course, this is a 5 mic album
Right.
to me, but I can understand because Bone Thugs' style at that time was very different because they were doing that whole fast tongue rapping, and they were at that time they weren't really getting that much love from the East Coast. So I'm just gonna
Right.
be real with you
Right.
about that shit. It was and I'm being perfectly honest. Like when they did Notorious Thugs with Biggie, I felt like they got more love in the East when they did that shit.
I mean, the East Coast slept on them until all the war. Like, I had friends that
Yeah,
wasn't checking for them in 95, and I think once First of the Month came out, like radio played First of the Month, and they played Thuggish Ruggish. But as far as like albums, like nobody was checking for them over here until All the War came out, and that's a shame because I remember getting a cassette for E99, and it was dope, and I'm like trying to put people on, and they wasn't hearing it. And then when All the War comes out and they drop, Look Into My Eyes, that's when people really started to check for them over here.
yeah.
You know,
And Art of War, that's my favorite album that they've
yes,
done. I'm not gonna
me too.
lie. But if I in terms of impact, it will definitely be E99 Eternal
Yeah,
because you had songs like Butt Smokers Only,
mm, crazy.
the original Crossroads, not the
Mm,
video versions.
not the remix. Yeah,
Yeah, because I think they re-released that album and then they added the remix and shit
mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Um, Buddha Love, my
But the
all-time
letters,
favorite song
fire.
they've ever done.
Mm,
Nice usage of the Isley Brothers sample. Then they were throwing shots at Dog Pound too. I think the song crept in and we came where they had a line where it says "hoes in harmony." No, 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 wait, "hoes in the pound" or some shit like that.
wow.
Yeah, because the Dog Pound threw shots at them at the dog food album and shit too. So,
Right.
but yeah, man, I
Interesting.
this is definitely at least if it's not a 5 mic, I would accept 4.5 mics and shit.
Yeah. The 3.5 they gave it? They
Yeah,
probably they
because
wilding
at
way
that
off.
because this style even was close to the West Coast than the Midwest.
Right.
Because like the Midwest didn't really have a traditional sound
Right.
like that. Because Twister was doing his shit. He had like a more darker sound before.
Mm,
I would say like the Adrenaline Rush album, which I would say that was his breakthrough Fuck Kamikaze album.
right.
Um, I'm not gonna mention Eminem really because Eminem mostly broke out late '90s, 2000s, and shit. I'm not really
Mm,
gonna mention him
right.
and stuff like that. But yeah, Bone Thugs, their sound was more geared toward West Coast and shit, so people kind of looked at them. And of course, Easy E too. So,
Right. Right.
but yeah, 4.5 or 5 mics
Wow.
at least.
Definitely 5 mics for me, man. That the production
Yeah.
was great. It had that eerie horrorcore sound to it.
Oh
They
yeah.
were, but I would think that's what made artists. I mean, at least for me, yeah, that's what made them different and dope because they didn't sound like everybody else. Same with Outkast. Outkast was slept on because they wasn't from New York and they were different. And I'm like, that's the whole idea. Why would you want to hear somebody that sound the same? You
Exactly.
know what I mean? So I didn't understand it, but I mean, it definitely was great. You know?
Yeah, I definitely understand what you're on that.
Yeah.
All right. We got a few more albums on this issue.
Hmm.
The show soundtrack, three and a
What?
half
What?
mics.
What?
Crazy.
Wow.
Disrespectful.
That's crazy, yo.
Disrespectful.
That's crazy.
One of the greatest soundtracks, not just in hip hop and in music.
Yeah.
This is the soundtrack a lot of people who are not hip hop heads I know fuck with.
Wow.
Like, first of all, for those who don't know, the show was the hip hop. Okay, Rock Lady said 9 o'clock is fine for her. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
All right, so hip hop wise, everyone knows about Brian Robbins, the show. Like a mixture between like the East and West and South
Right.
performances and made my Def Jam. You know what I'm saying? You had classic songs like Tribe Called Quest, Glamour and Glitz.
I love that.
Love that track. Like,
Crazy.
part of me don't even know if I would have put that either with Midnight Marauders or Beats, Rhymes, and Life because
And that was
it was
a
it
solo
was a
track.
this, you said what?
It's just Q-Tip on that though.
Yeah.
Fife need to be on that.
But we all know what happened,
Right.
so I'm not even gonna get into that
Mm-hmm.
tonight.
True.
Um, what else? Method Man and Redman's How High the first time
How
they
high?
collaborated
First single.
for single.
You know what I mean?
Yes. Pretty much Mary J. Blige every day it
Yes.
rains.
Everyday Rains. I love. And she never put that on the album.
Nah, because it was on a. If I'm not mistaken, it was on a foreign edition on what's the album, the My Life album, but I could be wrong.
Oh, okay.
They said Puffy had a production credit, so
Of course. He didn't do it.
him and Nasheem married. So
Wow.
I don't know if he'll play this at the
He
quote
can't.
unquote versus with
It ain't
Jermaine
bad
Dupri.
boy. He ain't producing. It was Nashim that did that. That's the same beat that Biggie used for the One More Chance remix. There's another remix.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes.
I remember
There's like
that.
3 remixes for One More Chance.
I remember what you're talking. I know what you're talking about
Yeah.
now. Yeah. Speaking of Biggie, he had
Mm.
his version, his "Me and My Bitch" live from Philly, where they
I
used the
love that.
computer love sample. Little trivia.
Uh huh.
So Biggie, he was performing that version one time, and one of his DJs was fucking up,
Mm.
and he threw a water bottle actually at one of the
I
DJs.
saw
Talking
that.
about the
I saw
fuck you
that.
doing?
There's video for that. I saw that.
Yeah, he's like, you really fucking up, man. Really
that was
fucking
at
up.
that was at a festival or some shit.
Yeah.
He did that. Yo.
Yeah, I understand about the last couple of months, but I'll definitely send you the link on Monday. Take care, no problem. Yeah,
Mm.
Lil Caesar was cracking up and shit. I'm
Yes.
not gonna lie.
Yo.
I'm not even done. The original version of My Block was Easy Mo B's best beat he did for Tupac, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Live with Onyx, which they renamed that song. I want to say they renamed that to Live Niggas
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Where the live
Mm.
niggas at?
Right.
Love that track.
That song. That song. All we
Oh
got is
God, it's
us.
on.
Yeah.
Yes, a 5 mic classic, but I think they
Definitely.
downrated it in one of these issues too.
Oh
Which
Lord.
woo,
Wow.
I'm not gonna get mad about that one
The
when the
hell.
day comes. Woo, but yeah, I'm gonna mention one. It's like 20. It's not just song. They have
Mm.
like interludes and interviews with rappers. Like there's like them just saying some short things. They say like, oh,
Mm.
here I love this hip hop shit, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna lie, and it's cool,
Mm.
but they could have just saved that shit. I mean, you didn't even
Right.
need the lengthwise all them skits because it was just like every 2 songs somebody was just saying some shit
Right.
and stuff like that. But other than that, this soundtrack is
Great.
at least a 4.5 soundtrack.
Great soundtrack. I love it.
Yeah.
Definitely
Because I
five
mean,
mics for me.
there were some songs I admit I could have done
Mm.
without
Mm.
and shit like that. Like I didn't care for the "What's Up Star" was the Sugar track. I didn't care for that one. Um, I didn't really. I'm gonna be. I didn't really care for the Kill Them All with Kelly Ranks. The
Mm.
Warren G track. It was cool, but they could have just saved that for his album and stuff.
What's the
But
Warren
yeah,
G song again? On it?
it was Still Can't Fade It with Twins and Bo Rock.
Oh wow. Shit, I barely remember that one.
Yeah. I'm not really the biggest South Central Cartel fan like that. Be
Right.
real with you. So
Yeah.
yeah, this is a 4.5 album. I love this soundtrack.
Great soundtrack.
Yes,
Definitely.
sir.
I can't believe they gave it a 3.5. What?
Yeah.
Wow.
All right.
Crazy.
Now I'm gonna get into the rapper Smooth, female rapper. You ever heard of Smooth, right?
I guess I uh I want to say I heard her album a long time ago though.
Yeah. I'll show you the album cover. Hold on.
Yeah. Cause she was on the Menace to Society soundtrack.
Yes, she was.
Yeah. But I never like bought any of her albums though. How many albums she had?
She had 4.
She had 4? Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely slept on her.
Yeah, the one I'm about to show you is her third album.
Hmm.
The only one I have from her collection, to be real
Right.
with you.
Wow.
Ouch. Thank you, Will Smith. Okay.
Yeah, I remember that. That's the 93 one?
95.
95, okay. I remember that
Yeah.
one. But I never bought none of her albums, though.
Yeah. When I heard this album, I'm not gonna lie, this one it was a very cool album,
Hmm.
very dope album. It was known for the songs like "Mind Blowing," which that was like a big
I
hit back
remember
in
that. Mind
'95.
blowing, yeah. I remember that one.
I love the song "Player Young Thugs" with Tupac. I love that track. Way back when
Hmm.
Jeeps and Benzos, like even the album cover alone
Hmm.
is pre-hardcore Lil Kim and shit.
Right.
Like,
Right.
um, it's been years since I've heard this album, but
Hmm.
I think I'll probably give this. They gave it a 3.5. I'll
Hmm.
give it like a 4 mics and shit. I mean, I feel
But
like this one.
was she raunchy?
Yeah, she had a little bit of raunch in her
Right.
and stuff like that. She was doing like a lot of singing on this album, from what I
Yeah.
remember.
See, she was singing and rapping before Drake.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
But
I
I
forgot about her.
definitely for years I've been saying I was going to review this album and shit like that. So
Yeah.
I might actually re-listen to this one. I might put this
Her,
one to
her
the side.
albums are out of print now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All albums out of front.
I figured that.
All right. Okay. Next we have Level Six with the self-titled album. I've never heard Level Six
Never
before.
heard of them. Who the hell is that?
Uh,
Level Six.
the West Coast group.
Never heard of them.
Okay. Papa LQ, Rap a Lot, Your Entertainment, My Reality. I never heard that album either.
Never heard of them.
All right. Don't tell me this is the last. I could have sworn they had another album after
That's it.
this page, but let me double check. Hold on. I'm over here listening to For the Love of Money.
Bone Thugs.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, okay. They had a couple more albums left.
Mm.
This is where it gets disrespectful.
Oh.
Yes. This is the last album they had. They had Brother Lynch Hung, Season of the Sickness.
I
Two and a half.
remember. I remember when that came out. I never heard a Brother Lynch album though.
I can tell you right now,
Mm.
don't listen to this rating because wow, two and
Mm.
a half mics.
Wow.
Brother Lynch. And that's like my second favorite album from him,
Mm.
believe it or
Hmm.
not. Because I love the loaded album. That's my favorite joint from him. But
Mm.
at this time, his style was more underground. Well, it's still underground to this day.
Yeah.
And hardcore was not really looked upon as like the go-to genre when it came to hip hop too.
Right.
So
Right.
this to me is a 4.5, at least 4 to 4.5 at least from what I remember and shit.
Wow.
Because this album to this day, this is an album you have to listen to at night. It had a dope mixture between
Mm.
G Funk and hardcore, which
Hardcore.
that was like pretty much what his early sound consisted of.
Yeah.
Like everyone knows the song "Rest in Piss,"
Mm.
um, fucking "Deep Down." The title track was Six, which y'all should know the history behind the rapper Six. That's all I gotta say. No, yeah, that's all I gotta say on that one.
I'll check that
you
out.
you know you know about Six, right?
Six?
Yeah, the rapper.
Nah. Who the hell is Six?
Okay, so he's a hardcore rapper that pretty much he was arrested because they said he was on PCP one night and he allegedly ate somebody in the flesh, that flesh and shit like that. And so he was on the street, and then they say he was on some PCP, and he
He ate
was going to his
somebody?
body. Yeah,
Are you
if I find,
serious?
I'm not lying. I'm dead ass not
Like
lying.
he killed somebody and ate them? What
Yeah,
the hell?
yeah. I'm dead ass. Let me
Wow.
see if it's the right one I'm talking about. Hold on. Give me 1 second. But no, 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 no.
What?
This dude, no, he was arrested for molesting his kids. That
Oh
wasn't
wow.
him.
What? His own kids? Damn.
Hold on, let me see. Yeah, he raped and molested 2 little girls.
What?
The one I was
His
thinking
own
about,
daughters? Wow.
yeah, one of them was his daughter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, the other one I was talking about, that's actually a real story too. If I find that episode, I'm gonna send that to you.
What the hell?
But yeah, I know about the story. I got six confused with another rapper and shit like
Right.
that. But yeah, this album, Berlin Chunk. I mean, I do have this album, the Loaded album. Shout out to Hoovy, by the way, and shit like that.
Right.
But Loaded to me was a more grimier album. That's all I gotta say. But Season of the Sickness, that's an iconic, like 2.5 mics, really, dude. Okay.
Oh man.
All right, and those are all the rankings off this issue of the Source. Like so this is the Mike Tyson issue.
Oh,
Now we're gonna get into the Rakim issue and shit.
that should be better.
Yeah, this one was 1998. So,
Yeah.
ooh, let's see what albums they picked. Let's see what they got. No limit. Sick the
I remember
Shocker.
that. Hmm.
My boy Sick the Shocker. I don't care what nobody says.
Silk was your boy.
Yeah, Sick with my boy, man.
Silk had like that fast flow, like he sounded off beat sometimes.
That was his signature.
That's his thing.
Yeah, they had like a talking about life
Oh
after
wow,
death.
wow, the locks.
Like, greatest hip hop group of all time.
Oh boy.
Greatest hip hop, greatest hip hop group of all time and shit. The way they talk about Jada, they should be talking about Ja Rule about. I'm surprised they're not talking about Ja Rule in that same
Right?
ranking.
They disrespecting job.
I saw an article earlier that says the resurrection of Ja Rule. I'm just like,
Wow. The
okay.
resurrection. I didn't know he was dead. What is he? Jesus? What do you mean the resurrection?
This
Oh
shit.
my
Oh
God.
wow, they got the living single soundtrack.
Oh wow. Living. I never heard that. They had a soundtrack for that.
Yeah, with like popular songs at that time and
I didn't
shit
even
like
know.
that.
I seen the New York Undercover soundtrack. I never knew a Living Single had a soundtrack. That's
Oh
probably
yeah,
out of print.
hella out of it.
What the fuck? Wow.
Who got the hip hop for? Ghostface Impossible,
That was
which
dope.
RZA said that was like the best Wu Tang verse. Got a hip hop
Really?
quotable. Yeah.
Best Wu Tang verse ever? Wow. Well, RZA was on drugs.
No, hold
I,
on,
I
hold on, wait.
still I still got Deck for verse on Triumph. That's great.
Oh yeah, the
You know?
Triumph verse alone, but
Yeah.
Impossible that's not far behind either.
And Deck's verse on Cream was great too.
Mm.
Life as a shorty shouldn't be so rough. I love that verse. The Locks again. Wow, Locks is getting mad publicity, man.
Puffy, man.
Shit.
He wanted his group to be up there, like
Yeah. Yeah.
shit.
He wanted to rob them. That's what he wanted.
And they had Scarface, My Homies.
Dope album. Oh, do you have a movie for
Yeah.
that too?
Yeah.
I never saw the movie.
Yeah, I never saw the movies either.
Wow. I wonder if that's on streaming. Yeah, of course, Diddy. Oh Lord. Mm. This is No Way Out, Diddy.
Yeah, No Way Out.
Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm.
Everyone's favorite. I don't even know what he does. They had the future, the people in 1998 that was killing it at that
Oh
time
wow.
and shit.
Fat Joe, Lauryn Hill. Nice.
The Red Man Wannabe.
I remember him, Human Wreck. His album is out of print too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't care for him like that. I'm gonna be real.
Human Wreck. I never even listened to that album.
God damn. Like I said, you gotta go turn through everything and shit. I guess you gotta go to the table of contents. Excuse me.
Oh man.
I don't think this one has a rating system.
They got no ratings in that one.
No, I just see class of '98.
Wow.
I don't see no ratings for this one. It's just pretty much talking about who was killing it in '97.
True.
So I might have to get another issue then if I don't see a rating. All right, I'm gonna get another issue. Cool.
Okay.
Let's see what I can get. Oh, this one.
Oh yeah, that one, the Tupac one.
Yeah, the Tupac issue from September of '94. This one he was going through. Wait a minute. This was '95. Okay, I thought it was the same year. You okay?
I don't know. I'm choking. I don't know why.
Mm.
Getting COVID or something.
Hell no, let's not wish that.
No, I'm just playing.
I mean, I coughed because I was choking on something, but yeah.
It's apparently is viral through the computer.
Oh Jesus, let's not say that. Then motherfuckers gonna probably say we gotta wear masks when we do this shit. Now I'm like, hell no.
Right? Oh god, can you imagine?
Oh God.
You gotta wear a mask just to be online. Oh my god, that's when you know the world is over.
Yeah. And, you know,
That's
motherfuckers
funny.
already can't say certain shit on YouTube now and shit. But
Right. You
I low key didn't eat dinner. I only had some fries for shit, man.
right. Oh
Well,
man, you gotta eat, man. It's 2:15 a.m.
yeah, I know. I might just make some salad or some shit.
True.
Cause I would go to cookout, but I'm not
Mhm.
trying to drive, and then that line be long as hell.
Right.
Cause I was like, damn, I went to sleep at like 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even call my mom. That's how tired I was. I was like 10 o'clock. I didn't wake up till like about close to 1. I was just like, oh shit.
Right.
Cause what time did you finish your stream?
Like maybe close to 12. I think.
Oh wow.
You know what I mean? But Phil was cool. Like I didn't know what to expect. I never saw the dude in person. It was always on social media. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, thank God this was in the live video. That's what I said.
Right. I thought you was going live with it.
Oh no, this is gonna be
No.
pre-recorded and shit.
Okay.
And then
I
if
thought
I
you
do
wanted
it
to go live
live,
with it.
then if I go live, then everybody's gonna
Comment and
prolong and talk about
and really
Tupac
care.
and all that. I
I
don't
was gonna say that. I was gonna say that. I was like, oh god, we gotta answer more Pac questions.
right. This is Jay with the Damage It getting interviewed and shit.
Dope.
Or
So this is what 94, 95,
yep, 94.
94. Okay, so this is Sunrises in the East.
That's right.
Yeah.
Mm. Talking about cocaine a lot in this issue. Okay.
Wow.
O.J. Simpson,
Oh boy, OJ, Black Moon.
of course, Tupac.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Okay, fine. Okay, there are the albums. All right.
Yeah,
All right. So let's see what we got. Organized Confusion, Stress, The Extinction Agenda. Four
great
mics
album.
they gave it.
Great album.
Very great album.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be quite. Personally, I'll give this a five mic, and this is actually the first review I've done on this channel.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
way back. But
Wow, that's crazy.
I can understand why they gave this album a four mics because Organized Confusion, they had a very abstractual sound, like
Mm-hmm.
compared to cats like Tribe and De La, in my opinion.
Right.
But I feel like with this album, it was like their least abstractual because like around this time, Pharaoh Monch's father died around this time and shit
Mm-hmm.
like that too. So they were going through like having like a more introspective songs,
Right.
but then you still had like the battle. It was a well balanced album
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. Take notes, Ja Rule, but um a well balanced album. Like you had the battle rap songs like Bring It On,
Mm-hmm.
where Phil Marsh probably dropped some of his best rhymes on that track and shit like that.
That was dope.
You had, of course, the title track "Stress," "Kill,"
Mm-hmm.
"Destroy,"
Fire.
"Stress." I mean,
I think
everyone
that was his
knows.
first single, right?
Yeah, that was the first thing off the album.
I remember that video. They like in the snow and all that.
Classic video,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, that was dope.
Um, what else? Then you had "Let's Organize" with OC and Q-Tip, which that was on the
Yes,
"Low Down Dirty Shame" soundtrack
that was dope.
and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then, what really gets me are the introspective songs like "Black Sunday," "Why,"
Mm-hmm.
Straight Bullet. Oh my God, how can I not mention
Crazy,
Straight Bullet?
crazy.
How they use that concept a lot in hip hop where personifying a gun. Where everyone thought that Pharaoh was the one who started that trend, but Ice Cube did it way back when he did Man's Best Friend off the Death Certificate album. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Pharaoh Monch was the one that did it the best, in my
Yeah.
opinion. So
What about Nas though? I Give You Power.
oh, Nas second, he was the second
Yeah.
best. You see, the thing with Nas, what I liked about it was that
Mm-hmm.
he pretty much told. It's like with him, it was like more complex with him
Mm-hmm.
because he was talking about how gun smuggling. He was talking about gun smuggling
Right.
and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like he was mixing geography with this shit. You know what I'm saying? Which I fuck
Yeah.
with. Like
True. True.
organized confusion, they kept it on the street level when they came straight bullet and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Nas he did it like he took it like a different way with the gun smuggling and the loyalty and shit like
Right.
that, which that was very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah. But yeah, this is my favorite organized confusion now. I mean, this is actually one of the few source ratings where I'm actually okay with
Right.
and shit like that. So yeah,
I'm gonna definitely have to. But I ain't bumped that album in years. I'm gonna definitely bump that tomorrow, man. It's been a minute.
yeah. Unfortunately, it used to be on Spotify years ago, but now they took it off and shit.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird though because like Internal Affairs is finally after all these years on streaming services, but now
Mm.
the only organized confusion album on Spotify is the Equinox and shit, which I
Right.
love the Equinox. Don't
That
get
was
me
dope.
wrong, that was a very dope album.
Yeah.
Um, Gravedigger, 6 Feet Deep,
Oh man.
three and a half mics.
5 mic classic.
Yeah, again, this is going back to when I talked about Brother Lynch Hung when they were saying how motherfuckers what's the horrorcore was not really that well upon with the mainstream.
Right.
But I've always felt like 6 Feet Deep was one of those breakthrough when it came to horrorcore music because of
Exactly.
the fact that for one, you had like RZA of the Wu. It's like three you had Wu Tang, De La Soul, and Stetsasonic in one fucking group.
Exactly.
Like
Yep.
you had like the past and present and the future,
Present.
literally.
Right.
Because Scissor Sonic, they had their last album, The Blood, Sweat, and Tears in '91, which is now I do need to hear in my collection.
Right.
You had De La Soul, which at that time Prince Paul had left De La Soul. Technically, let's be real.
Right. Right.
And then of course Wu Tang, well with RZA and shit like that, because everyone likes to say this is a Wu Tang album. It's not a Wu Tang album. It's not a
Right.
Wu Tang album.
What I mean, the sound sounds like Wu Tang though. This is like
Yeah, I
a
mean,
year after 36 Chambers blows up.
but you can also say it has elements of Balloon Mind State too. You can also say that with certain trap, a more darker
Right.
Blue Mind State.
A horrorcore Balloon Mind State.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm being real with you and shit like that
Right.
because with certain producers, and I noticed like when they produce like in that year and stuff like that. Like let's take somebody like
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, like what's his name? What's his name? DJ Quick, for example. DJ Quick.
Right.
You know, with 1991. He did the Quick as a Name album.
Right.
AMG's Bitch You Better Ask Somebody. Classic album in my person. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go that far. Let me not go that.
Great
'Cause I
album.
haven't. It's been years since I've heard that album, but it's an enjoyable album.
Mm-hmm.
Second to None's first album. If you really listen to those three albums, you can tell he was working on those shits the same fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you take like certain beats out of each three of those albums and you still had Quick as a Name, it won't be no different.
Right.
Hell, not even hip hop, but when Prince,
Mm-hmm.
1982, when he did 1999, the time, what time is it? Benny Six's album, shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
All those beats, if you pick like certain beats from that, it could have easily been 1999. You wouldn't even tell the difference and shit.
Right.
But with Gravediggers, it's very different because you know you had like the RZA, the 36 Chambers elements mixed in with the Balloon Mindset elements, but
Mm-hmm.
then they throw in some different shit to make
Yeah.
it their own sound, which I one thing I've always loved about Gravediggers and shit.
Right.
Now let's talk about the songs. I talked too much about the sound already. Nowhere to Run, Nowhere to Hide. Let's
Crazy.
just come on, man. Like
Crazy.
RZA's best rapping alone is on that fucking track. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a song I can see on 36 Chambers.
Yeah.
That's one I can definitely see on 36 Chambers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Blood Brothers. Oh my
I like
god,
that. That should have been longer.
love that.
That's
Way
that track
longer.
was too short. Yeah.
Wait, are you talking about Blood Brothers or Two Cups of Blood? Because Two Cups of
My
Blood was
bad.
like,
2 cups of blood. That's
yeah,
two cups of
yeah,
blood.
you're right. You're right. You're
That should have been
definitely right.
longer. Yeah.
Um, and then you even have rock elements like with Bang Your
Bang your head.
Head.
Yes.
Yes, even like the title track,
Mm-hmm.
6 Feet Deep, like
I love that.
G to the R to the A,
G.
Grave Digger. Like this whole fucking album
Crazy.
was just
Crazy.
amazing, man. Like
Mm-hmm.
3.5 mics, really? Like
They
really?
got it
Like
wrong.
who wrote this issue?
They got it wrong.
JT Sultan, really, my nigga?
Source got it wrong.
This is an influential album. Like
Yes.
I know we did a review on this on your channel,
Yes.
but I want to do a review on my channel one day
Let's go.
and shit like that. I really want to go
Let's do it
way
again.
more in depth.
We're doing I think that's never been heard of. We're doing another album review for the same album.
But when I get the album, not
Okay.
anytime recently, whenever I get the album and shit like
Okay.
that. Because like with this album, it's easy. I mean, it's not expensive, so I can probably
Right.
get it. And I'm not gonna lie,
Mm-hmm.
when I first heard 6 Feet Deep, I liked it,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't love it as much as our other hardcore albums, like 3 6 Mafia's Mystic Styles, which alone
Right.
that's like top 3 hardcore album. Well, people want to say hardcore, people say gangster rap, but I feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
more hardcore and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it influenced a lot of styles like trap and crunk and shit like that. But niggas don't want to mention that because they're so fascinated with the baby and shit,
Yeah.
and future and shit. But anyway,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna mention those trash ass niggas in this shit. But anyway, Grave Diggers alone 5 mics.
Definitely. That
And
might be
look,
like my favorite that was like in my top five of '94. Like of all the albums, like Ready to Die and Craig Mack and Illmatic. Cause I played that was like one of the albums that I played the most in '94. I'm like this album was great. How do you give that like what was they issue with giving it 3.5 mics?
Let me read it up. So okay, yada yada yada. They said, oh, okay. So this is what they said.
Mm.
Pretty much like they said in those cases when the tracks aren't good enough to justify the style, the bad tracks they mentioned are Bang Your Head and Here Comes the Gravediggers, which
What?
some of my favorite tracks.
Bad tracks?
You're
Wow.
slipping. Y'all slipping.
They bugging.
They bugging.
Nope,
You
there's
know
no
what?
bad track on that album.
This is actually pretty fun. You want to do a Jet magazine after this one?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's
this is
do-
actually kind of fun though. I'm not gonna
how we
lie.
gonna do the Jet magazine one? What are we talking about for that one?
I'll explain. I'm gonna explain it because
Okay.
they have like the top 20 albums
Okay.
and
Okay.
stuff like that. And if we heard the albums and shit like that, I guess
Right.
I'll see what I can do. I'll see, but
That
yeah,
is
they
crazy.
said that the subject matter would turn off some listeners.
It's a hardcore
Subject
album.
matter,
So if you
but
buying
like
the
I said,
album, you gotta know what you're buying. I would think, right? If you buying a Grave Diggers album, you gotta know that it's not Wu Tang. This is like
right?
a spinoff group
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
like I said, with hardcore at that time, it was like
Mm,
it was like a new genre in hip hop and stuff like that
right.
because it was mostly like an underground sensation. Because
Hmm.
remember, the Flatliners also
Right.
came out the same year,
Right.
which that album's trash in my opinion. I'm
Yeah.
not.
You know, but they. I mean, it's like you had when you have like 3 6 Mafia and Brother Lynch Hung and you know you got them doing that. Like I would think like especially the rock fans that's fans of like Alice Cooper and Black Sabbath, they would gravitate to this more. I would think.
Yeah, they had a good. From what I read, they had a good rock following
Yeah,
and
I would
whatnot.
imagine.
From what I read,
Hmm.
because Wu Tang had a good alternative rock following
Yeah,
in the mid '90s and shit like
right.
that.
They were
Because they
always
were
on those
doing,
festivals, Lollapalooza and
yeah,
all that. So
yeah.
yeah,
And we all know the story because Gravediggers, like you mentioned, they were originally supposed to be on Def Jam, but Russell
right,
passed up on them
right.
and shit like that. And that's when the Flatline they kind of felt some type of way about that shit too.
Crazy.
Which I definitely got to talk about the Flatline of the album one day, but
Yeah.
that's going to be way down the line. Way
Halloween
down.
coming up. So
I got something
you,
better for
you got
Halloween.
something better for Halloween?
I
Okay.
got something better. I'm not. I got like I got. I'm gonna explain it when we
Okay.
come back and shit. I'm gonna keep it on the
Right.
wraps, but nice and smooth, Jewel of the Night.
That's my
Now
joint.
3.5 mics.
That ain't bugging. That's one of their best albums.
Now I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to nice and smooth, I'm not the biggest fan. So I've
Mm.
heard of this album. I've heard some tracks. This is when they kind of went a little gangster, the death row syndrome, if you say, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, I never heard
It
the album in full, so
the album. You know what is different about it? This album out of all the albums is more alternative because they have Cracker. Oh, I never thought I would hear Nice and Smooth with Cracker is on the song. They got Everlast, and Everlast was like already leaving House of Pain to do his alternative shit. And it's a banging album though. Like Slick Rick is on that album. You got
yeah.
Showbiz that did a joint on there, and Bobby Brown is on the first song, Return of the Hip Hop Freaks.
Jesus Christ.
Um, who else is on that? I think that's it. I want to say that's it. But it's a solid album. Like they picked the right singles. Old to the New was the first single, and Blunts was fire. I love it. I think that's another album in '94 that I was playing a lot during that summer, and I think it's probably my favorite because that's my first Nice and Smooth album. I never bought anything else from them, but I thought it was I gotta give that a 4 at least a 3.5. Like, are they bugging? Yo, they have some joints on that album. You
Mm-hmm.
know, yeah,
Yeah, man. Oh, damn, they got a lot of albums in this issue. Okay, cool.
right.
Actually, fuck the Jet magazine. We can just finish this issue. 'Cause
Okay,
I thought, cause I didn't know the next two albums, so that's why I was just
mm,
going like, yeah. I
right.
thought it was gonna be edit. Bossman and Bandit, 16 Keys. You ever heard of that one?
Nah, I never heard of it.
Okay.
Down south.
Um, I want to say because
Yeah,
they said that it's actually yeah, I want to say down. I want to say
yeah.
yes. They gave it three mics. Fezzu, War with No Mercy.
Never heard of them.
You ever heard of that one?
Nah, don't know
Four
that
mic.
either. Four mics. Wow.
Oh wow, he's from Houston, not named Scarface. Interesting.
Like,
No, because like they when it comes to Scarface, that was the only rapper they were giving respect to from the South, like Ghetto Boys and
mhm.
Scarface, because Scarface got like two five mic albums in the soul, and he was from the
Wow,
South and shit.
it's crazy.
Crazy. MC Breed, Funkdified,
I know MC Beat. I never heard that album though.
three and a half mics. I never
And he
heard that
named it. He
album.
named the same album after the Brett.
The same year they came
What the
out.
fuck? Wow. No lawsuit. That's crazy.
Right. I don't know which album. I think the rap one came out first because I think that came out in
Okay.
April.
Right.
Champ
Wow.
MC, Ghetto
I heard of
Flavor,
her. I heard of
Champ
her.
MC.
She, yes, Pete Rock did her single, but I never heard her. If I heard her album, it was like a long time ago. I never bought it though, but I might have heard it online like a long time ago.
Uh yeah, the Ghetto. They gave it three mics.
I don't even remember the album. I remember Pete Rock did a joint on it though.
All right. Artifacts,
Oh
Between a
yes,
Rock and a Hard Place,
that's a classic.
four mics.
Definitely, that's a classic. They fucked up. I actually loved the first album more. I
Mm.
know people love the second album more. The second album was dope. I feel like the production was better on the first album to me though.
You know what? I've never been a fan of the
You know,
Artifacts.
like them. Great album. Boom bap
I
album.
heard this album years ago.
Mm,
It was it didn't impress me,
right.
but I didn't dislike it. I'll probably give it three and a half, maybe.
I actually did a review for this album on my channel. I did a review for this.
I
It
remember.
was, yes, and I liked it. And I'm like, yo, I had to do a review for that because I'm like, yo, this is an album that got slept on. Again, one of my favorite albums for that year, and they didn't have like features on there. It was just them. The second album, I believe they had some features on. I think Brand Nubian was on that second album
Yeah.
and shit. But the first
Redman
album,
too.
like, yes, Redman, Tame One is Redman's cousin. Redman was he did a track on there, and he was on there, and they had Buck Wild was on there. He did a lot of the tracks, and T Ray, T Ray did stuff with Cypress Hill, and I'm like, yo, this is a great album, and I played that a lot again during the summer '94, and I'm like, I love it. I think that's a five my classic,
Right.
you know.
Mm. The Legion. Theme plus Echo equals Krill.
I remember them too. They
Two
were
and a
they
half
were
mic.
they were down with DITC. I think Drez was on the single Jingle Jangle, but ah man, I some of these albums I ain't hear in years. I heard the album a long time ago. I never bought it though. But the guy Molecules from the group, he's doing solo shit. He did an album with Showbiz. I want to say year before last.
Oh wow.
So Molecules is still doing shit. I think the group is still together. 'Cause I remember Drez said that he's planning on doing stuff with them. But it's been years. Like people, they have to reintroduce themselves because people don't remember them.
Yeah, man. I never heard these motherfuckers and
Yeah.
shit. LL Scratch.
Oh
Creep with
wow.
me.
That's a joint we ain't talk about, right?
Yeah,
That's
cause I
coming up.
gotta be get. I was trying to get the. I used to have the album, but
Hmm.
I left it in my other car. But you know what? I was like, that album's
Yeah.
mad expensive online, so I'm gonna wait a while so we can still talk
Yeah.
about it
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
day.
I never bought the album. I remember that. I remember hearing online. That was a good album.
They disrespected it. Three and a half mics.
Nah, they wild. That's
That's
better
at
than
least
that.
a 4.5 to
Definitely.
5 mic album.
That's way better than 3.5.
And you telling me that this album is not better than this? What's his name? Fezul. What's his name? Hold on. Fezul War with No Mercy. Like,
Never heard of the
are you?
dude.
Let me. Time for me to get my fanboy shit. Hold up. LL Scratch. I'm gonna be very controversial. They should be talked the same breath as Bone Thugs, in my opinion. When
Wow.
it came to that whole harmonizing, lyrical, harmonizing kind of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone knows them for that song "I'll Take Her." Yes, I love "I'll Take Her," classic song. But "Where My Homies,"
Mm-hmm.
"Summertime,"
Yeah, that was great.
Brooklyn Uptown. Come on, man.
That was great.
This whole fucking album is like the perfect summertime. Like if New York Undercover made a
Mm-hmm.
soundtrack, like the music score, this is the perfect album to
Yeah,
really on that. If you
I
can play
agree.
New York Undercover, this is the perfect album you can really listen to and shit.
Mm-hmm.
That's just my
I agree.
personal opinion.
Yep.
Hell, little trivia.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what song they were originally supposed to be on?
From '94.
95.
Mm, I don't
We
know.
talked about this album too.
R&B or rap?
R&B, pop, you can say, yeah.
Um, Michael Jackson history.
Yes, they were supposed to be
Really?
on They Don't Care About Us.
Oh shit! I
Yes.
didn't even know that. I just took like a wild guess.
And I that's
Wow.
why I said R&B pop and shit like that, cause I was just
Yeah.
like,
Well, once you said pop, I'm like, well, it gotta be history. I don't remember any like
mhm.
other big pop albums from '95 though.
Yeah, because Mercury, they didn't out, and there was a documentary on YouTube, and I think it's
Mm,
still there.
right.
Shout out to Crazy the King content and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
He did a documentary about Ill Out Scratch, and he actually do documentaries on rappers and stuff like that where they would interview or take certain interviews, and
Mm-hmm.
they were talking about how Mercury Records wasn't really putting them on like that because they didn't really know how to market them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Michael Jackson was did like them. Either he liked them or the people at Epic liked them. And they were supposed to
Mm-hmm.
be on They Don't Care About Us. But
Wow.
I think label politics got in the way of that shit. You know what I'm saying? But
So
yeah, I don't know.
so
Go ahead.
so they blow up, and Mercury didn't know how to promote them,
Pretty much.
and they let them go.
Yeah, because after the second album, Keep It
Mm-hmm.
Moving, that's when they let them go. Which Keep It Moving was okay. I'm not. It was cool. I liked
Uh,
it, but commercially, it was way bad. None of the singles charted. They
mm-hmm.
went for like a more darker kind of sound compared to like the more Get Money
Mm-hmm.
kind of sound with the first. I mean, you still had a little bit of the first album with the second album, but it was a huge contrast and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They were getting a little bit on that hardcore kind of shit.
Wow.
But the it Creep With Me album. I mean, in my opinion, top 10 hip hop album '94 to me
Yeah, definitely.
because y'all they were way before Lost Boys 2. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, they had to sound like they were way before Lost Boys. Hell, I'm not gonna lie. If it wasn't for these cats, you wouldn't have a Drake. Be real. Being real. They were
Yeah,
singing.
they were singing.
Hold on.
Well, they
They
were
were
harmonizing.
singing.
They were harmonizing.
Harmonizing.
Yeah.
94. Niggas don't know about this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm playing I'll Take Her Right fucking now. Early Brian McKnight, the song that put him on the fucking map. Sick and tired of
Okay.
this. Drake,
Okay.
Drake, Drake. Every time, you know what? Let's get to this the last one. Bone Thugs and Harmony again,
Mm-hmm.
creeping on a come up. 3.5 mics.
Crazy. That's at
That's
least a
one of the
four,
at least a 4.
at least.
What is up with them always giving them 3.5 mics and shit? Like
They're
what?
being stingy with the five
They're being
mics.
stingy.
Yeah.
Like, let me tell you, that EP, and you know, when it comes to hip hop EPs, it takes a certain EP for me to really herald it.
Mm-hmm.
Like NWA 100 Miles of Running,
Right.
Above the Law, Vocally Pimpin'.
Mm-hmm.
Um, of course, Ice Cube's Kill at Will.
Yeah.
The Beastie Boys had a few dope EPs in '94 and shit.
Mm-hmm.
But this EP right here changed the fucking game,
Right.
in my opinion. Hell, Easy E. it's on Dr. Dre and shit. The West Coast have a lot of dope EP.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop.
Right.
But yeah, and I've seen some people call this EP an album
Right.
on occasion, which this was way before mixtapes and shit like that when motherfucker would say a motherfucker they have no classic, but they would want to make the mixtape into an album so they can call
Right.
it a classic and
Right.
shit.
Right.
Cough cough, Joe Budden. But anyway, Thuggish Ruggish Bone alone, classic, classic,
Yeah.
classic joint.
Mm-hmm.
For the Love of Money,
That's my
very
joint.
dope joint too.
Yep.
Creeping on a Come Up, Mo
Dope.
Cheese. I mean, this whole album was just so influential. Like, and it caused this album in 1999 Eternal caused some controversy to cats in the Midwest and the South because around this time, they did an interview in the Source,
Mm.
and they were talking about. I think somebody asked them about Southern rappers, and they said that Southern rappers were kind of whack and shit like that too.
Mm.
That's why Tommy Wright the third did that classic Thuggish Ruggish Busters diss track. In my opinion, the best Bone Thugs diss track next to Live by Your Rap by 3 6 Mafia and shit.
Right.
That's why 3 6 Mafia they got really mad at Bone Thugs because of what they said in the Source and they felt like they were stealing their style and shit.
Right.
But yeah, Bone Thugs they were
Right.
getting people pissed off like Twister, Crucial Conflict,
Mm-hmm.
Do or Die. It was just like the world versus Bone Thugs and shit and stuff like that. But luckily they all squashed that beef and
Yeah.
most of them did music with one another, thank God and shit. But this one was at least a full mic album. At
Yeah.
least.
For sure.
For sure
Ain't
and shit.
bugging.
You know what I'm saying? And that's all the time I have, you know. And this is actually an hour, so thank God for
Yeah.
that. I think I might just drop this tomorrow, I guess. I might drop it tomorrow. But this was a very, 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 very dope idea. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Try.
No doubt, man.
Let me see what I'm doing. I might do this sometime next week. I'll let you know
Okay.
and shit like that. But cause I want to definitely do like some Jet magazines because the way how they do it with like Jet,
Mm.
like this, they oh yeah, they do like the top 20 albums and shit.
Right.
So they will have
Right.
like the top 20 R&B albums. Like let's just
For
say
that year.
like for that month,
Oh, for that month. Okay.
yeah. Actually, this is top 20 singles. Excuse me. But some issues they have R&B albums, but
Mm.
hell, we can do singles too because
Okay.
that's dope too. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
like they have like Off the Wall, Michael Jackson, Don't
Nice.
Push No Force, because you know this one is issues from 1980 and stuff like that. You know,
Right.
the Millie Jackson issue and shit. So
True.
but that would be a dope idea
Yeah,
too.
that would be dope. That'd be good.
Yeah, man, because just want to do some different shit. You know what I'm
Yeah. No
saying?
doubt.
'Cause
No
sometimes just
doubt.
always doing reviews can be
Right.
boring sometimes too. You know, so even though
No
I
doubt.
love doing reviews, because
It's dope.
yeah, I'm seeing a lot of y'all not requesting
Right.
reviews no more like that, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut on that. I don't want to be ungrateful because I am grateful.
Right.
But at the end of the day, I'll definitely do another one of these. Either if not next week, then the week after, because you know next week, of course, I'm going to come back with the reviews, with the
Right.
surprise review, and I know I said that next Friday. I said the West Side Connection double
Mm.
review. Um, yeah, think yeah, because you know we're gonna have the yeah. I think we're gonna do that. That'll be cool. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I gotta really focus on my schoolwork and shit. So them two reviews will be straight with me. So yeah, the collection is gonna be next Sunday and stuff like that too. So shout out to everybody, Ashley, Eric, Rock Lady. Can't wait to see what y'all got.
Yeah.
I was gonna get a few more, but I think I'm gonna wait for a couple when my birthday's coming up. 'Cause I feel like I got enough albums for right now that can last
Right.
me for the rest of the year, really. So, so yeah, appreciate this, bro.
No doubt.
Hope you have a good night, and
You
I will
too,
see
man.
y'all later. I'm gonna drop this tomorrow night.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.